back of his own net. At half-time, it's England 1, Denmark 1. And it's a very warm welcome back to our independent off-tube studio commentary of England against Denmark. The second half just underway at Wembley, as you were just hearing. If you missed the first half, it is 1-1. Mikkel Damsgaard scoring a superb free kick for Denmark on the half hour to give them the lead at what at the time was a deserved lead. But England drew level just 9 minutes later. An own goal from Simon Kjær after good work from Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka. Cross from Saka and turned into his own net by Kjær. That's why it's 1-1 then going into this second half. No changes made by either side at the break. It's myself, Tom McGarry and Jack Ogilvie talking you through the rest of this evening's coverage. We may have extra time and penalties on our hands for the second successive night. We'll be hoping we can get plenty of drama between now and the end of the 90 minutes. Jordan Pickford will take an early free kick in this second half for England. Jack, what are you expecting in the opening stages of this second period?
Well, we went all the way last night, didn't we? And you wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again. You mentioned extra time and penalties. I thought Denmark were very impressive after a wobbly opening 10 minutes or so. England, though, got the goal, and they were the stronger team towards the end of that half. I think Gareth Southgate would have been hugely encouraged by the way his side recovered from going 1-0 down. Of course, that's the first goal they've conceded through the whole tournament, so by default, really, the first time they've been behind. I thought they responded there, that good chance with Sterling, great save by Schmeichel. Then the goal came, a hint of fortune about it, but I suppose you make your own look at this stage of the tournament. I said it at the start, you said it too, Tom, this is going to be, every second counts in this game. I think it's going to be one of those.
Absolutely, and as you say, England had the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes probably of the first half on top. Denmark, you could probably say, shaded the rest. So on the balance, 1-1, probably a fair scoreline going into the second period, as the scorer of the Danish goal, Mikkel Damsgaard, coming of age in this tournament, works it out to Jens Striger Larsen on the right-hand side. Now Kjær, who can't really attach any blame to the own goal if he wasn't sliding in there. Raheem Sterling was tapping into an empty net. Mæhle now for Denmark, trying to feed it in field. It's blocked by Calvin Phillips, and there might be an opportunity now for England with Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. Vestergaard comes across. Did he foul the Arsenal player? No, he doesn't, says the referee. Initially, the free kick wasn't given. There was a bit of uncertainty there. But Danny McKelly and his assistant, between the two officials, they decided it should have been a free kick. Yeah,
the flag didn't go up, but he clearly moves. He's trying to turn, but he clearly moves towards Saka, obstructs him. Free kick wide on the right-hand side. A decent, it's pretty much level with the 18-yard line, isn't it? A really good opportunity, this, for England.
Yeah, great crossing position. We've got Saka standing over it as the left-footed option, and Mount, the right-footed one. Mount has tended to monopolise the England set pieces so far in this game. John Stones forward from the back as well. Harry Maguire undoubtedly will be up there too. Pushing going on between Harry Kane and Simon Kjær at the moment. That's forces the referee to come across and speak to the two respective captains as Wembley awaits this free kick being delivered into the box. Already some very nervous faces around the stadium as Mount whips it in towards the far post. Maguire attacking it. It was a brave defending at the far post by Simon Kjær. The referee's got his notebook out and he's going to book Harry Maguire. It looked like a challenge in the air. Kjær has ended up on the floor. Not quite sure what Danny McKayle's seen, but he's given the yellow card, and Harry Maguire is absolutely furious.
Yeah, we're going to see it again. I don't know why that's a yellow card, if I'm totally honest with you. Harry Maguire wins the header. Yes, he jumps with his arm, but you've got to jump with your arm. Very brave, you have to say, by Simon Kjær, but that's the first time I've ever seen a yellow card given for that, especially as he's won what's he had? Yeah, it's a very strange call, I would say. That.
Yeah, very, very harsh. You can just former Leicester teammates there, Maguire and Kasper Schmeichel, having a rather heated debate. Kjær is in some distress on the floor, so that's a concern. He's receiving treatment now. But how about you? Maguire's challenging for the ball.
He's won the ball. Yeah. He can't do anything. He's running onto the ball. Kjær is running away. He's really brave by Kjær. He's taking a real whack, and he's rightly taking the time over him. But it'd be interesting to get the explanation of the referee there, because Maguire is running onto the ball. All he can see is the ball. He has to jump, so his arm's in the air because he's in the air. I don't really know. Free kick maybe, although I think that's quite harsh. But a yellow card, that's really harsh.
Well, that's it. I was going to say, it's a borderline free kick, if you like. He does put his arm on the shoulder of Kjær. It's a bit of an occupational hazard for the Danish defender. As you say, he was brave, challenging for the ball.
That's one of those that Simon Kjær will be surprised at a yellow card, but he'd probably be surprised that he got a free kick from it. It's rugged centre-half himself. He'd be, Harry Maguire's not having it. He's still shaking his head. Probably seen a replay in the stadium. Genuinely, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a yellow card given for that kind of incident.
Yeah,
I was surprised it was a free kick at first.
If it's a swinging arm when you're challenging the ball and the point of the elbow catches the player, we see yellow cards, and probably rightly so for that. But that was a fair, honest challenge between two players. Barely a free kick. Certainly not a yellow card. What Harry Maguire probably needs to do is just calm himself down, though, because he's still shaking his head a matter of minutes later as play restarts. He needs to get that out of his head and refocus and regather his composure as Vestergaard robs Kane of the ball, and Denmark can look to break forward. Mæhle plays it into Dolberg. Dolberg gets a strike away. That's a brilliant save from Jordan Pickford, who was questioned for his role in the Danish goal. Should he have kept out Mikkel Damsgaard's free kick, where you can't question the goalkeeper's quality there? Possibly it wouldn't have counted anyway. Dolberg may have been offside, but his strike from the edge of the area was crisp, but the save was brilliant from Pickford.
I know you can't dwell in football, but that would be double trouble for England there, because Dolberg's clearly offside, and because he's on that yellow card, which we're not quite sure about, the offside has actually been given to him. I was going to say, because Harry Maguire, in normal time without a yellow card, he hammers Dolberg there, he takes the ball, doesn't he? But he knows he can't make, just in case he makes the foul. It was a good save by Pickford, and I have to say Dolberg has been brilliant tonight. I think he's been the player that Harry Kane quite hasn't been so far. He's been dropping off, turning nicely, picking up space. Very, very impressive.
Similar kind of player. Certainly when Kane drops deep, it's kind of what Dolberg naturally wants to do. He's not necessarily an out-and-out centre-forward himself, but he's fulfilling that role, dropping deep. The interchange, particularly with Damsgaard, has been really impressive throughout the knockout stages. Denmark, that's a large reason why they look such a threat when they do come forward, even though on the whole they've seen a lot less of the ball and territory when compared to England. They're looking to come forward again. The team in all red this evening. Yannick Vestergaard in possession, rolls it across to Andreas Christensen. Had a bit of a nervy start to the game himself, the Chelsea player. Feeds it into Højbjerg. Højbjerg out to the right-hand side. And this might be a decent opportunity for Denmark. Strigger Larsen into Brathwaite, who gets it back off Højbjerg. Crosses from the right-hand side. Dangerous ball. Pickford comes out. Possibly could have caught, but takes no chances and punches effectively enough clear. Vestergaard and Saka are a little bit untidy as they challenge for the ball. Denmark come away with it. It's Højbjerg again who's heavily involved, but he's tried to whip that out towards Mæhle, and it goes out for a throw.
Yeah, not quite sure what Pickford was doing there. That's exactly as good as Pickford is. That's where you need Nick Pope in goal, isn't it? Because he'll just catch that. He had time, and Kyle Walker, you can see him giving him the shout as well. Good ball in by Brathwaite, but not really giving much for Dolberg, nor Delaney coming into the back post, much to attack. Pickford goes for the Superman punch and put his side into a bit of trouble.
Lively start to the second half. Still England 1, Denmark 1. Denmark have had a really decent effort towards goal from Kasper Dolberg that drew the best from Jordan Pickford. The goalkeeper may have been at fault for Denmark's goal during the first half, but he made a brilliant save low down to his right-hand side on this occasion. The offside flag actually had been raised, so it wouldn't have counted even if Dolberg had found the back of the net. Harry Maguire's picked up the first yellow card of the game as well for England. Very harsh decision with an aerial challenge from a free kick on Simon Kjær. Barely a free kick, should have been given by the referee, but to give a yellow card seems very harsh on the England defender. It remains one apiece.
Foul by Mæhle rather on Harry Kane. That was very harsh, I thought there. And a free kick to England, level with the penalty spot on the right-hand side. Mount and Saka again, the two candidates, a right footer and a left footer. The Denmark defence again, a high line. Mount, deep breaths, surveys the situation. One arm up, usually means front post, doesn't it? Goes towards the centre of the goal. Maguire's there, gets there, what a save! Schmeichel diving to his right-hand side. And both me and my co-commentator shake our heads because Maguire, I thought, had more of care then than he did for when he got the yellow card.
I was just thinking before that free kick came in, Harry Maguire's probably not going to really challenge for this, just in case, but he attacked that really well there. Good header, angling towards the far corner, but Kasper Schmeichel at full stretch makes a really good save. Both keepers now have made good stops at the start of this second half. The header from Maguire possibly just didn't quite have enough power to get beyond Schmeichel, but the goalkeeper still had to get across and claw the ball away. But certainly no sign so far this second half is going to slow down. The first half was played at a really good pace, and it's continuing in that manner at the moment. Denmark in possession. Christensen in towards Kjær, who has recovered from the clattering he got from Harry Maguire. Mæhle then, was he fouled by John Stones? Yes, he was. It'll be a free kick to Denmark. It might give us an opportunity actually to see this Schmeichel save again. Maguire, it's exactly the same challenge, isn't it, on Kjær? You're right. And it's a great header, spinning away from Schmeichel. And he does have to claw it away with his fingertips.
Yeah, claws it away. Perfect description there, Tom. Diving to his right-hand side. I think Wembley thought Maguire had scored there. Fabulous save, Schmeichel.
Yeah, and Maguire, who scored in the quarter-final, inches away from putting England in front for the first time this evening. As now Denmark come forward. Dolberg, there's all kinds of space for Strigger Larsen on the right-hand side. Dolberg finds the wing-back, who releases Brathwaite in the penalty area. His attempted low flash cross into the 6-yard box is blocked behind by Maguire. It will be a corner. It's quite end-to-end at the moment. One side having a decent opportunity, and then the other going up the other end and equally putting pressure on the opposition's goal. It's a chance for Vestergaard, Kjær and Christensen to all come forward. Jack, you mentioned in the first half, Denmark are a very tall team, should man for man have an aerial advantage on the England players. Only really, you'd say, Maguire and Stones, then Rice, maybe the big players for England. And Denmark may be able to cause problems from this set piece. Strigger Larsen wasn't always the most accurate with his dead balls into the box during the first half. He'll have another opportunity with this whip ball towards the penalty spot. No one challenging Maguire, who can head away comfortably. It'll break, though, to Mæhle on the edge of the area, who feeds it out to Damsgaard. Damsgaard looking to take on Mason Mount and dig out a cross. He's managed to do so. He thought he had. Brathwaite has a volley at the far stick, but the referee and his assistant have already decided that the ball drifted out from Damsgaard, so it'll be a goal kick to England. Yeah,
always looks dangerous, Damsgaard, whenever he gets the ball. And interesting the way that Denmark are approaching those set pieces. They're trying something different every time, aren't they? Ooh, I'm not quite sure that did go out, I have to say. Yeah, that was a bit fortunate for England, I thought. Yeah, they're trying something different every time. Strigger Larsen's delivery was a bit strange, though. He went for the penalty spot, and there was only Bukayo Saka there. It was, his delivery is the one thing that's let them down from those set pieces.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still been on them, in all truth. They have plenty of quality dead ball specialists who can knock the ball in. Of course, Christian Eriksen would be the obvious one to take the majority of Denmark's set pieces, but as you'll all know, he's unavailable. That's a lovely lead from Brathwaite to find Dolberg on the edge of the area. This time he's turning and shooting on his left foot, not quite striking it with the same power as we saw with his right a few minutes ago, and this time it's a routine save straight down the throat of Jordan Pickford.
Fabulous turn initially by Dolberg onto his left foot. Took John Stones out of the game, but just hesitated for half a second on his weaker left foot, and the effort wasn't the best, but really encouraging from Denmark now.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see as well from a Danish point of view. In both knockout games, Damsgaard and Dolberg have tended to come off around the hour mark. We're approaching that point now. I'd be surprised if Kasper Hjulmand was looking to take them off, but they were also impressive in those previous two games, so maybe that's just a tactical shift he likes to make. They've got players like Yusuf Poulsen who can come on.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Poulsen was going to be the main man coming into this tournament, was he? He was playing through the middle. Never quite looks comfortable in that position. I always think he's better off the right or the left when you see him playing for RB Leipzig, but Dolberg's almost come of age in this tournament.
Mason Mount for England. This could be a promising situation. Sterling, he's got Shaw overlapping. Luke Shaw pulls it into the 6-yard box. It could have been another Denmark own goal. It's ricocheted out to play. Mæhle trying to prevent the corner, hasn't been able to do so. It was Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, I think, who diverted the ball towards his own goal. He must have had his heart in his mouth for a second, but it has only gone behind for a corner.
Yeah, that would have been so unfortunate, wouldn't it, for Højbjerg? Came off the inside of his left boot, almost his back heel, as he was trying to block it. It spun away. It was always spinning away from goal. I suppose Mason Mount with a corner kick.
Yeah, Mount outswinger with the right boot. It's towards Maguire again, challenging with Kjær. It's a real heavyweight tussle between those two. The balls come out now to Luke Shaw, who helps it back into the area, but too much loft on the ball, always favouring Kasper Schmeichel, who quickly looks to get Denmark on the counter-attack. What a clearance that was, or pass I should say, from Schmeichel, but Damsgaard under a bit of pressure wasn't able to control.
Yeah, it was a lovely bit of play, wasn't it, by Schmeichel. I've noticed it from Kjær as well. Both of them have that lovely, just lean back and almost slice across the ball. He strikes so purely, almost picked out Damsgaard 2-on-1. Again, though, we have to give credit to Kyle Walker. He's been excellent this evening and cut out the danger.
We've hit the hour mark then in this game. Still England 1, Denmark 1 in this second Euro 2020 semi-final. Reaching that stage where substitutions may be being considered by Messrs Gareth Southgate and Kasper Hjulmand. A couple of Danish players are going through a rather vigorous warm-up. I have mentioned that Dolberg and Damsgaard, no matter how well they're playing, do tend to be replaced around this stage, so that might be one to look out for. In the meantime, Harry Maguire in possession for England, pressed by Dolberg. Has to go back to Jordan Pickford, who will clip the ball out to the right-hand side. Kyle Walker will chest it down, and we've shown too much of that to Mela. Just about gets away with it. Walker shows decent persistence, links up with Saka nicely. Bukayo Saka hasn't been involved that much, but when he has, he's looked a real threat for England. That's a lovely ball over the top as well by Phillips. Great control by Mason Mount. Vestergaard gets back at him. Mount gets a shot off between Vestergaard and Kjær. They block. It comes to Saka. Right-hand side, cross towards the far post. Striger Larsson is there to clear. And how about that for a piece of skill from Martin Braithwaite? Brilliant from the Barcelona man. Holds the play up. Finds Striger Larsson on the right-hand side. And Denmark can get the ball clear.
It was great play by Braithwaite. Brilliant scrambling defence as well from Denmark. Mason Mount maybe just a yard too close to go for goal. Maybe could have squared it, but as he was that close to goal, may not have had the pass on that he wanted. But it was fabulous control at first. England come again.
Yeah, Saka. Vestergaard goes in with a strong challenge that's left Saka on the floor. The referee's not interested, though. It won't be a free kick. Denmark play on. Saka is down. Phillips goes in with a challenge and he wins the ball. No foul on Damsgaard. Danny McKaylee happy to let the play flow. Sterling works out to Shaw on the left-hand side for England. Back it goes towards Raheem Sterling once again. He's stood up by Thomas Delaney. Goes back towards Rice. Kane dropping deep out to the left-hand side as well to get involved. Cuts infield. Finds Stones, which probably tells you how deep Harry Kane has dropped in this move. Rice now to Shaw, into Sterling. Rice has continued his run. Sterling tried to turn it around the corner to him. Christensen intercepts, but it's only momentary respite for Denmark. England will come again. Phillips, incisive ball to Mount. Can't quite squeeze it through to Saka. And Vestergaard makes sure of that. And Denmark, again, very compact defensively when they don't have the ball, making it very difficult for England to play through.
Yeah, he's letting the game run, isn't he, the referee? I have to say that. I thought it was a clear foul by Vestergaard on Saka. But England, they're enjoying a bit of possession. That was a really, you said, incisive ball. I thought it was perfect, Tom. Really nice ball by Phillips. Just a bit tight on the edge of the box, but Denmark dropping very, very deep now.
Yeah, they're almost camped in a bank of four and a bank of five, or a bank of five and a bank of four, I should say, on the edge of their own penalty area. Even Dolberg dropping deep as Sterling. Good play. Rolls it into Saka, who can't quite return it to Sterling, but the shot comes in from Mason Mount, trying again one of those curlers with his right foot towards the far corner, but too close to Kasper Schmeichel, who makes a routine save.
Yeah, just falling away from it as he struck it. He couldn't quite, it was just under his feet, wasn't he? He was trying to dig it out, and Yusuf Poulsen is going to come on in the next couple of minutes. He's got his shirt on ready to go. There's a second player as well, Tom. Daniel Vass, who started the tournament. I would suggest he'd be replacing Striger Larsson, although they might have to have a rethink because Andres Christensen's down.
Yeah, this would be a concern for Denmark. As you say, Vass has tended to play as the right wing-back when he's come on. He can operate in midfield as well, so you'd imagine that would be for Striger Larsson, and Poulsen would be the change maybe for Dolberg. They have another substitution lined up as well, the Brentford midfielder Christian Norgard. I wonder if Vass is just being held back, actually. He's gone back behind the advertising hoardings. Norgard, who's been a regular substitute as well in this tournament, looks like he's going to come on. I wonder if he might operate in the back three. The first change anyway, it's not... Is it, oh, no, sorry, I thought it was going to be Damsgaard coming off, but it's actually, whilst we've got this period, just a drinks break. The graphic coming on my screen saying Damsgaard's coming off, but he is still on the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, does Damsgaard know he's coming off? Interesting to see Christian Norgard, who was injured for the latter part of Brentford's promotion push, wasn't he? And it was touch and go whether he was going to make the squad, but he's appeared a number of times off the bench. It's still there, the graphic, isn't it? But Damsgaard's making his way back to the left-hand side. This is that old thing when you're trying to ignore the manager that you're going to be taken off, but maybe he's offering some words of encouragement. I'm not sure. Daniel Vass now looks like he's ready to come on. I have to say I was surprised that obviously they want Striger Larsson in the team for his delivery, but I think Vass is a really good outlet from on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen that greater quality from Strigger Larsson in terms of his set plays. Christensen's come off to the side now and is getting his left thigh taped up, which would imply that he is okay to continue. So maybe this triple change was always in the offering. I think the graphics department did what I did and jumped the gun when he had a close-up on Damsgaard and thought he was coming off. We're actually not getting any changes as of yet as play resumes.
Yeah, they had that saved as drafts, I think, in the, before the game. But, yeah, they were pretty adamant with the graphics. We'll see, though. It could still be the case, Tom.
Yeah, we'll see in a few minutes, probably when the ball next goes out of play, as Kasper Schmeichel launches the ball long. That's a difficult one for John Stones in the Wembley Lights to try and cut out. He made a bit of a mess of it, but he's helped out by Kyle Walker, who launches the ball long, straight onto the head of Simon Kjær. Christensen is back on the field, incidentally. We're back up to the full quota of 11 versus 11. Around about 24 minutes plus stoppage time still to play. England 1, Denmark 1. Denmark preparing this triple change as the ball does go out to play on the right-hand side. Watched out by Strigger Larsson. Are we going to see this substitution now? Kasper Hjulmand standing with his three players are about to come on, and Jack Grealish may be about to come on for England as well, getting stripped and ready for action. The Danish changes first then. It's going to be Jens Strigger Larsson going off first of all, and Daniel Vass, so a like-for-like replacement there, you would suggest. Right wing back, Vass, who's spent the last few years playing in Spain with the likes of Valencia and Celta Vigo. Damsgaard is coming off, so we were right in a way. Josef Poulsen, the man coming on for him, so Denmark's scorer on the night, as he has been throughout the knockout stages, replaced around the midway point in the second half. And the third and final change for now, this might suggest a little bit of a defensive shift from Kasper Hjulmand, because Kasper Dolberg is off and Christian Norgard is on.
Yeah, you think that's Poulsen and Braithwaite up top, and neither real centre forwards, are they? So it'll be interesting to see how they line up. We've not mentioned it so far, Tom, but I think VAR came to your recovery then with that change for Damsgaard. You were right in the end.
Yeah, we got there in there. We preempted it a little bit early as Bukayo Saka, he's got the better of Vestergaard. He tries to bite back at the England man. Saka's cross in the end. There was no one in there really in white for him to pick out, and Denmark can clear it up towards the halfway line where Maguire beats Poulsen to the ball, carries it forward nicely as well. Harry Maguire, helped out by Harry Kane. Now Kyle Walker, right-hand side. He's got Saka outside him. Saka, who's becoming more and more influential in this game. He's up against Joachim Mæhle. Wants to cut in on his left foot. He's allowed to do so by Mæhle. But then the cross from the Arsenal man is a bit too heavy and goes straight out to play for a goal kick. And that could spell the introduction of Jack Grealish. Midway through this second half, still England 1, Denmark 1. England came ever so close to taking the lead for the first time on the night. Cross from the right-hand side by Mason Mount. Harry Maguire's header angling towards the far corner, but it was clawed away at the last possible moment by Kasper Schmeichel. A really good save. The changes are starting to be made as well. A triple one we've seen for Denmark with Vass, Norgard and Poulsen going on. And England have just made their first change as well. Bukayo Saka, who's had a decent night, particularly at the start of this second half, he's being replaced, and Jack Grealish is on. It's England 1, Denmark 1.
Yeah, Saka, the architect of the England goal. A hug from Gareth Southgate. Disappointed, you imagine, understandably so, but Grealish has been excellent off the bench. Didn't get any minutes at the end of the Ukraine game. It was noticeable that Gareth Southgate held him in an embrace and suggesting that you've got a big role to play in the semi-final. Grealish on for the final 21 minutes of the 90. Will we get any more? Vass looks up and nice inside ball to Højbjerg. Braithwaite, he's got Poulsen ahead of him, but not much more. Mæhle on the left-hand side. Poulsen's first touch. Braithwaite was fouled in back play by Luke Shaw, it was. The Barcelona man. We're not mentioning him too often, but every touch he's had have been pretty good ones. Shaw silly there, just blocking him off, because Poulsen's touch wasn't a good one. Rice had won the ball. Yeah,
Braithwaite, he's a really good performer for Denmark. He gets a little bit of stick because he's at Barcelona, and maybe that's a little bit beyond his level in some ways, but he's still a really, really good player and a good foil for whoever he plays up front with.
Everyone up for Denmark, ball into the box. Stones with a good header away, but it will be another throw to the Danes, pretty much down by the corner flag. Harry Maguire barking out the orders. First change then for England, 3 for Denmark. Grealish has gone to sleep there. Vass to Højbjerg. Højbjerg's touch wasn't the best, but back out to Vass. Vass digs out a cross. It's away by Rice. Andres Christensen, who had quite heavy strapping on his thigh come hamstring before he even got that top up moments ago, is back and seems to be moving well. Mason Mount is receiving some instructions from Gareth Southgate. We've not mentioned that either yet. He was involved in the Euro semi-final as well once upon a time, wasn't he, Gareth Southgate? As Shaw prepares to take this throw. Bit static from England. The Danes are asking the question, is it going to be a turnover? He's got to release it eventually. Eventually, Harry Kane comes back, and it's a toe in there by a Denmark player. Pickford controls it. It must have been an England touch because he was pretty keen to keep that ball in. He's saying movement to the men in front of him because they have been static at times. A man in a red shirt, Poulsen it is, who's just pulled off and found a bit of space. England just going to sleep in the last couple of minutes. Maybe those changes, mainly from Denmark, aren't they really, but just upset the rhythm.
Yeah, we had that delay with Christensen's injury as well, then the triple change, then Grealish claim on, and it has just broken up the rhythm, and Denmark have benefited from that.
Grealish, first run, fouled by Vass. Will that be a yellow card? Grealish asked the question. Yeah, you don't get away with those ones, do you?
Yeah, there's not much contact, is there? But he knows what he's doing, Daniel Vass, and just leans into Jack Grealish and nudges him to the floor, and particularly in the second half. There are always yellow cards in the second half. You maybe get away with it in the first, but not after the half-time break.
Yeah, stop at source was the phrase that came to mind as soon as Grealish took off there. Again, having a chat with Mason Mount about the positioning. England's number 7, Luke Shaw, will take this free kick, although Grealish is happy to give him the option. Socks rolled round his ankles as ever. 18 minutes or so left on the clock. England 1, Denmark 1. Luke Shaw's ball in towards the back post. Vestergaard is with the header away. Calvin Phillips on the right-hand side. Sterling's made a run to the right. And Mount picks it up short into the feet of Sterling. Sterling can't quite control, but tired there by Denmark, I thought. Grealish picks up the second and goes off on one of those Trey Bart runs, but passes behind Declan Rice, who does well to retreat and find Harry Kane. Crossfield ball finds Mason Mount. Kane will get himself into the box. Mount down the right-hand side, clips it towards the back post, and Schmeichel, safety first approach, the right approach as well, under his crossbar, tips it over.
Yeah, he was backpedaling there. Kasper Schmeichel, Mount trying to stand it up towards the far post. There's too much slice on it, really, so it ends up angling towards the goal, and I think it was dropping in, so Kasper Schmeichel did the right thing to just turn it over the top.
Yeah, well played by a 34-year-old, Jack Grealish. Right edge of the box. Mason Mount into Sterling. He turns. Vestergaard blocks with his thighs, I think, falls to his knees and gets the block in. Calvin Phillips, if he meant that, what a pass that is. Ball in over his shoulder and finds Declan Rice outside his right foot. Kane now into the box, goes down. Is that a penalty kick? Danny McKaylee goes the other way, calls it a dive. They'll check it. I have to say, Tom, the fall didn't convince me.
He's gone down clutching his right leg, hasn't he, Harry Kane? He certainly goes down, maybe not theatrically, but he goes down quite, obviously to everyone. Players from both teams are now surrounding the referee. It's Norgard with the challenge. He does go across.
That's a penalty kick,
I think it is, yeah. Norgard steps across Harry Kane.
Who gets the touch and the penalty kick.
He goes down. It's just inside the area. I'm not sure what the referee was giving, whether he thought Kane had dived or whether he thought there was a foul earlier on, but VAR will definitely check this.
I didn't think the fall wasn't a natural one, I didn't think. And he's given a free kick.
I can only think that is for a foul from Kane. I think it might have been on Delaney before he latched onto Norgard, but I didn't see a foul there.
That is a clear and obvious error to use the phrase, isn't it? I thought he went down too early, but he gets a touch away from Norgard, and Norgard comes across him, whether it's intentional or not. That's a controversial moment as Mæhle back in play on the left-hand side. Phillips tackles him. Mæhle gets it away, though, to Vestergaard. Vestergaard just angles it forward. Well, we've seen the VAR. It says check over now, but the play's already gone on. It's just a strange way the officials have acted there. How do you think they would have given themselves a bit more time?
Yeah, it didn't seem an obvious one that they could, make a decision within the space of 30 seconds like they did. It was Poulsen Kane initially challenged with. I didn't think there was a foul there. And then, as you say, Norgard surely brought Kane down in the area. We'll see if we can get an explanation on that if possible. But no penalty. And, depending on which way this game ends up going, that could be a hugely controversial moment.
Yeah, Højbjerg sweeps it wide to Daniel Vass on the right-hand side, just inside English territory. Now Andres Christensen, the elegant way, moves with the ball, just comes forward, then plays a 1-2 with Norgard. He must have breathed a sigh of relief there, the Brentford man. Maguire heads up in the air. Shaw will turn. And, he's balled down the line. There's going to be a throw. I've noticed Gareth Southgate's not gone straight for the iPad, which is normally the reaction of referee managers when those kind of situations occur. Vass with the throw-in, level with the right edge of the box for England. Vass receives it off Poulsen. Delaney controls with his right foot through the legs of Poulsen, but he shows nice footwork to keep the ball. Norgard, now Vass back to Christensen. Højbjerg's just dropped in to the back three. 1-1, 14 minutes left. Christensen, of course, Italy awaiting in Sunday's final. Catch that on this service. 8 o'clock kickoff as Delaney steps over and whips a ball towards the back post. Kyle Walker lets it bounce. Mailer will make his life difficult. The ball has gone, though. It will be a goal kick. And we're all just catching our breath.
Yeah, we probably need to. It's been a very action-packed second half, hasn't it? Considering we haven't had any goals since the restart, it's been really entertaining stuff. And we're reaching that time. I thought it 5 or 10 minutes ago. We were getting to that nervy stage where perhaps when there was the break in play of Christensen's injury, both sets of players might have looked up at the screen, saw the time and are starting to think we're reaching that kind of next goal the winner territory, which can make players tense up and can make it very nervy. And I feel like that might be starting to set in.
Christensen wins the header ahead of Kane, but he only falls to Declan Rice. Now Kyle Walker can come forward on the right-hand side. He's got Sterling just down the line. Rice is now making the run, trying to break the line. Sterling drops off, receives it, goes past one. Norgard, good tackle by him, and Højbjerg can break. He's got Poulsen and Brathwaite ahead of him. Maguire steps in, strong challenge, then knocks it long. Finds Grealish, does it? There was maybe a foul on Christensen or potentially Brathwaite. I did think it was a bit loose, Maguire's challenge. Christensen's gone down. You've got to think the change is coming.
I think his day is done. If memory serves, I'm pretty sure he was taken off late in the Czech Republic game with an injury to his leg, which is what's been causing him problems during this second half. Joachim Andersen came on at the weekend, so I would expect the man who spent last season on loan at Fulham to replace Andreas Christensen fairly shortly. Just wondering about the penalty appeal as well. I'm wondering if the decision has been made. Maybe Kane kicked the back of Norgard as Norgard stepped across, and that's the decision. I'm trying to get a viewpoint where I can, but I think that might be what the decision is.
But that didn't happen. Norgard came across Kane as he was going for... let's be honest, Kane's looking for it, isn't he? I think that's probably what the downfall from England point of view is. But Norgard, he took a risk and maybe fortune was on his side. Joachim Andersen, you called it, Tom. Excellent season for Fulham. Still at Lyon. Tottenham have looked at him, haven't they? I think there'll be a few suitors if he's not going to get a regular game at Lyon. I thought he was excellent, like I say, for the Cottagers, captained them for long stages of the second half of the season too. And Harry Kane will just throw it back to the Danes, or, via Jack Grealish, I hope. Yes.
They were toying with us there, weren't they?
He took a step, Grealish.
Definitely thought about the shot from 40 yards.
I was once playing in a school match where someone did that. He meant to kick it back and scored. And the referee was just like, no, we can't have that. As Luke Shaw, was he fouled by Delaney? Yes, he was. Free kick to England just inside Danish territory. 11 minutes left of the game, of the 90. Bit of pushing and shoving going on here. Danny McKayle's just going to tell everyone to calm down. I think he may even have a word. Norgard and Mason Mount, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were what that was all about. There was a little bit of pushing between the pair as they made their way back into position. Again, it's just the tension that's building of the occasion.
Yeah, so many nerves out there. Grealish now turns inside, skips past one, fouled forward to Mason Mount. Play on, no one in the box from Albert Sterling on the back stick. Shaw, low ball in, away by Kjær. Excellent positioning once again. Phillips goes for goal. Always going wide, though. Thought about asking for a corner kick. That's a bit of a wince, though. He knew, always wide. Still England 1, Denmark 1.
Into the closing stages of the 90 minutes. Still nothing to separate England and Denmark. It's 1-1 at Wembley. England, though, thought they were going to be awarded a penalty a few minutes ago. It certainly looked like Christian Norgard, the Denmark substitute, brought Harry Kane down in the area. But referee Danny McKaylee gave a free kick to Denmark instead. And VAR had a look and agreed with the on-field decision. Seems a little bit strange in all truth. And perhaps Denmark have got away with one, but the penalty wasn't given. And it remains England 1, Denmark 1.
Yeah, and Denmark rolling around nicely on the edge of the box. Delaney has to be careful. Rice almost tackled him. Back to Joachim Andersen. First touch for him. Puts his head down. Looks to hit the line towards Braithwaite. The ball only finds touch. Kasper Hjulmand with his arms out, outstretched. Once more from his team. 4 changes he's made now. Got one more left in the 19. You get an extra one in extra time as well. Shaw will take this throw. Again, static England. Phillips the only one moving. Declan Rice goes short. Phillips again. Grealish is making a run. Eventually Harry Kane steps in and goes on a run left to right. Finds a Mason Mount. He and Grealish seem to be interchanging left and centrally. Grealish now edge of the box. Can't quite get the ball from Shaw under his spell. Norgard away. Kyle Walker thought about it, but Mæhle showed good pace to get in. Goes forward. 3-on-3 for Denmark. He didn't control it. No, Braithwaite miscontrols and Mount comes again. Real nice end-to-end feeling about this. Mason Mount tackled well by Thomas Delaney. No, not according to Danny McKaylee. And Delaney throws his arms up in the air in frustration. I tend to agree with him too.
Yeah, certainly with his feet, he definitely won the ball. Was there some grappling with Mason Mount as well? Minimal grappling, maybe. That's probably what the referee's given the free kick for. He's had a few fouls. Thomas Delaney's been flirting with that disciplinary tightrope, but I'll tell you one man who didn't agree, it was his manager, Kasper Hjulmand.
Yeah, 8 minutes or so left of the 90. England 1, Denmark 1. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Free kick to the Three Lions. Line on the edge of the box for Denmark. Luke Shaw, one arm up, whips it in. Doesn't beat the first man. It finds Declan Rice, though. No John Stones even. Just going wide, glancing header.
Yeah, difficulty was coming back away from the goal, John Stones, and almost falling off balance as he made contact with the header. And it's going to be very difficult, even if he made decent contact with that, to beat Kasper Schmeichel from there. Not the best delivery, really, in all truth, from Luke Shaw. But we are, into the final 8 minutes plus stoppage time of the 90. It's now the time for somebody to step up and be a hero. And hopefully if that does happen, it is someone being a hero rather than someone being the pantomime villain.
Yeah, exactly. As ball long, well controlled by Poulsen. He's looked sharp since coming off the bench. Højbjerg's told to go left to Mæhle by Delaney. Finds Mæhle. Back now to Højbjerg. He'll keep going right up until the 120 if he needs to. Vestergaard now. Norgard adding a bit of extra composure in the middle of the park for the Danes. Højbjerg into Poulsen, who shimmies away from John Stones, but Stones sticks to his task. Højbjerg now will switch the play only to Jack Grealish, who tries to chest control. Andersen can just prod it away from him. Poulsen, nice chest control by him. Norgard. Delaney inside right position to Vass, hugging that touchline 30 yards out. Denmark going right to left as we look at it. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Kjær. Joachim Andersen for the chance to play Italy, of course, in the final. They went to penalties. Will we or will someone be a hero, like Tom says? They were discussing, remember silver goal, Tom, on the TV the other day. I imagine how nervous that would have been when they used to have that if golden goal wasn't bad enough. As here comes Poulsen. Delaney. Denmark coming on strong. Delaney turns onto his left foot, dinks it towards the back post. No red shirts, though. And Jordan Pickford, coolly and calmly, just lets it go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, fizzled out a little bit in the end. I think Delaney might be a little bit right in asking why the 3 Danish players in the box all went to the front post as he was cutting in. The only real angle he had for the cross was to find the far. Denmark's ventures forward are growing fewer and further between since they made the change. It was a defensive one, that triple alteration, particularly with Norgard coming on for Dolberg, and it's allowed England to take the ascendancy somewhat, but there is still, of course, that threat on the counter-attack for Denmark, and particularly if they can get Poulsen and Brathwaite working in tandem.
Pickford goes long, well headed away by Kjær, who, although he scored an own goal, has been excellent this evening. Delaney, Maguire steps in, fouled by Poulsen, and the free kick will be given to England. Poulsen apologises. I think it's your first one, so you get away with that. And a free kick just inside England's half for the home side, or I suppose they played at Wembley. I can't quite remember what they are. They are on the official UEFA site, as Sterling will roll it back to Walker now. The Manchester City man wants the option. Has to go back to Jordan Pickford, though. Into the final 5 minutes of the 90. Pickford, touch isn't the best. He finds Maguire, who lets the ball roll across his body. Far calmer than me, I have to say. Shaw into Maguire. Nice 1-2 between those two. Now Grealish sets off. Anderson's making life difficult for him. Cuts back Grealish and finds Walker. England got a bit of nice momentum behind this move. Sterling now on the right-hand side. Mason Mount, Harry Kane in the middle of the park, as is Grealish. Central position. Tries to slide it through to Mount. Well read, though, by Højbjerg. Cuts it out and floats a nice ball to Poulsen. Brathwaite up with him. Goes long, looking for Brathwaite. John Stones reads the space and heads it away. Norgard now will pick up the seconds. Vass flicks it back to Joachim Andersen. 4 minutes or so left. 1-1. We'll get plenty of stoppage time, I imagine, too. Just looking at Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland. They don't look in any rush to make a further change, do they? I wonder if they're looking for a wave of fresh legs, maybe, and extra time if it comes.
Quite possibly. Gareth Southgate tends to not make too many substitutions, does he? 2 or 3 per match, really, so far in this tournament. I wonder if Raheem Sterling's maybe not been involved in this second half. Fresh legs in the final third for him, perhaps, and maybe fresh legs in the middle of the park as well, with Jordan Henderson coming on. But for the time being, as you say, he doesn't look in a rush to make any changes.
Poulsen dinks it in, away by Stones, then Maguire. The seconds fall to Poulsen. Norgard forward, ball looking for Delaney, who's certainly taken on a more advanced role since those changes for Denmark were made. Grealish in the corner, trying to win a free kick. Still not gone out. He gets it away. Everyone falls over in the corner flag. Poulsen, can he keep it in? All eyes on the assistant. And it's a corner kick to Denmark.
Yeah, I actually think that ball might have gone out. The assistant was almost on the floor because he had bodies in front of him. Grealish and Delaney had gone down. So I think he's had to guess there. The official, Delaney, who looks completely out on his feet, is still rather wearily making his way to his feet. But it is a Danish corner. Again, we make references to it with the last set piece they had. They have that aerial advantage. They're going to make their fifth and final change of the regulation 90, and it's another one of the Brentford brigade with Matthias Jensen coming on, and that is Delaney's race run.
Yeah, Delaney looked tired there. He has looked leggy maybe in the last 10 minutes, and the call been made. Jensen comes on, the 25-year-old from the Bees, ready for his first Premier League season. Will he have more joy before there? Vestergaard's up from the back here too, as is Anderson. They don't get any smaller, do they, the Danes? As ball's whipped in by Vass. Vestergaard's there, so is John Stones. In amongst that, there's a foul, though. Vestergaard, I think, is the guilty party. He's the one complaining to the referee and picked out by the TV cameras. Usually the case, isn't it? Seeing it again, Tom. Yeah, maybe just a hand on the shoulder of Stones.
Yeah, I think it's probably more John Stones slips. But Vestergaard did have his hand on him. The referee's seen that and thinks, oh, he's brought him to the ground. And, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give free kicks in those situations. So, yeah, that kind of helped England out because, every time Denmark get a set piece, there is that nervy tension around Wembley.
Yeah, nerves ringing around Wembley, you imagine. Unofficial off-tube studio commentary. And it's 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. England 1, Denmark 1. Maguire just inside, or just off the 18-yard line, his own 18-yard box, finds Luke Shaw. Phillips is in space in the middle. Declan Rice wants it. Phillips has it, and he'll roll it wide to Walker. Rice can break forward, maybe. Højbjerg makes life difficult. Sterling comes inside. Now Phillips opens his body up and finds Rice. Rice looks inside to Sterling. Phillips is the man. Walker now. Good defence again by Denmark. Really well set up this evening. Sterling lets it run across his body. Norgard Wide to Stones now. Shaw, he's got Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. You can see the bodies at Wembley starting to rise whenever he gets the ball. Shaw thinks about the cross, goes on a dart himself. Still going Luke Shaw, fires it into Harry Kane, wants a second ball. It may fall to Declan Rice. Rice picks it up ahead of Mailer. Mailer knew he couldn't touch him, would have been a penalty kick. Rice tries to dance his way around Mailer. Mailer sticks to his task. Walker now, 30 yards out, finds Kane dropping deep again. Phillips will work it to Shaw. Very narrow at the moment for England. Happy to defend this at the Danes. Phillips floats it wide. Well played by Mailer, who comes across, nods it out for a throw in the Danish left-back area to England.
Yeah, every single outfield player there was within the widths of the penalty box, weren't they? It became very narrow, that attack for England, who, as we approach the 90-minute marker, are the team pushing on.
Yes, Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw, rather. 6 minutes have been added on. I thought we'd get a bit, but that seems a bit much for me as Walker steps inside. Square ball, it's Grealish. Can he get the shot away? He's got Shaw making a run to his left. Shaw dinks the ball towards Walker. Harry Kane brings it down. Kane, can he get the shot away? He's going across the goal at the moment. Cuts, turns back inside. Well played by Mailer, who's been excellent this evening defensively. Questions have been asked of him during the tournament. He's played really well this evening. Højbjerg will just float it away. It's over the shoulder of Declan Rice, out for a throw just inside England's half. Well, I was going to... At the moment when you don't want to do a foul throw is then Declan Rice definitely did a foul throw, but they don't give them these days, do they?
No, they don't. But what it does show is the mindset of England. They're pushing, trying to find a winning goal now, aren't they? Buoyed on, you'd imagine, by the majority of the Wembley crowd. And Denmark, for the first time, really look like they might be just holding on and desperate to see the whistle go for to take us to extra time.
Yeah, well, you feel that one side is going to get a clear-cut chance. Sterling on the right-hand side. Rice makes a run ahead of him. Phillips holds the midfield as Walker has it in space. John Stones almost plays the middleman in the back three at the moment. Denmark are that deep. Short. He's got Phillips inside him if he wants to use him. Takes his time there, Luke Shaw. Still on the ball. Phillips now. All the outfield players in that Danish half. England going right to left if you want to picture it. It's unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Phillips into Harry Maguire now. Again, really good defending by the Danes. So well set up. Everyone knows the jobs. Phillips goes forward towards Declan Rice, who was hanging off the shoulder of Mailer, looking to maybe get an advantage in the air as Walker makes a run forward, but Mason Mount finds Sterling instead. Good ball by Sterling to Walker. Rice is making a run forward. Vestergaard is his opponent. Walker just plays it in. He was off balance, so difficult for the Manchester City man. Looking for Raheem Sterling. Denmark can break. Poulsen, great challenge, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw then fouled by Poulsen as well. And a free kick central position. And McKaylee again on the spot. Shaw takes it quickly, but too quickly. I think maybe 5 yards or so ahead of where the foul actually took place.
Yeah, you can get away with that when it's in your own half, but not when you're in an attacking position. But great work from Shaw. He spotted the counter-attack was potentially on as England take a quick free kick.
Yeah, Sterling down the right-hand side, whips it across. Mailer just did enough there. He'd gone to sleep. He was doing his laces. It was spotted by Shaw. Sterling got the ball in, but Mailer just about did enough, the Atalanta man. Schmeichel will clear with his left foot. Doesn't make 30 yards from his own goal, though. Mount, good energy, steps in front of his opponent. Sterling inside. Vestergaard almost enough. Sterling back towards the penalty spot. Oh, it was Grealish's ball to hit there. Kane to get off his feet. Phillips left-footed shot over the crossbar. That was a goal for me there, Tom. If he leaves it to Grealish, it's Chiesa all over again.
Yeah, he was setting up for Grealish to curl that one towards goal. Whether he didn't get a shout, whether Harry Kane pulled rank there, but he does take it off the toe of Grealish. You can see Grealish had his arm stretched out. He was disappointed not to get the chance in the end. Phillips with a rather wild swing of the left boot from the edge of the area. But England pushing on, still just under 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining. This is a really big moment because you imagine if we get to extra time, Denmark will get the second win, the psychological advantage of getting through the 90 minutes. But at the moment, it is all England.
Yeah, it gives England all the momentum behind them, like you say. But that 5 minutes or so gives them a chance to refuel, get the energy levels up as well, get a few words of encouragement from Kasper Hjulmand as well. Long clearance by Schmeichel. Stones picks up the seconds, clears down the line. Harry Kane controls nicely with his left foot. Vestergaard, he looks tired to me. Dives into the challenge, then fouls Harry Kane. It wasn't much of a foul, but Vestergaard looks so leggy at the moment. he gives himself away, I thought.
Yeah, he almost deserved to give away the foul just because of how poor his initial attempt was to beat Kane, who just skipped past him with ease. Great control and footwork from Kane, but then as soon as he feels any contact on him, he knows he's got no support. All he can do is hope for a free kick. Goes down. It's not a free kick, really, but it's been given.
Yes, as a few of the England fans see themselves in the stadium screens. Mason Mount with the free kick for England. Phillips again patrols the edge of the box. Nerves around Wembley. Deep ball. Maguire with the header again. More comfortable save this time for Schmeichel. The ball was fading in its trajectory as it came into his hands. Just diving to his right-hand side. I would say that was the save of an experienced goalkeeper who knew he could probably buy a few seconds from that as well.
Yeah, it felt like he was kind of set for a more difficult save, and in the end he was just relieved that he could just fall on the ball and, as you say, eat up a few more seconds.
Yes, it's a Denmark throw on the halfway line. 1 minute of the 6 remaining. Declan Rice couldn't quite keep it in. He's having a go at somebody. I think Denmark happy to take the time out the game. Vass will take the throw. Kasper Hjulmand, what a job he's done, you have to say, as such a... Oh, it doesn't need to be talked about, but such a difficult start to the tournament. He managed to battle through all the way to the semi-finals and potentially beyond. Short with a throw for England into Phillips, all a bit tight. Back to Rice. Walker wants it. Will there be one more chance for the Three Lions at Wembley? 60,000 fans there. Raheem Sterling, 3 goals for the tournament so far. Again, takes his foot off the ball, but that might buy him a few seconds as Brathwaite dives in. Vestergaard then makes a better tackle this time. Højbjerg thinks it forward towards Poulsen. Comes to John Stones. All eyes on Danny McKaylee, the referee. We've almost played the 6 as Højbjerg just hoists it into the stands for a throw. Will England have a chance to take it? The referee looks pretty unmoved at the moment. England in no rush though. Walker, will he wind up for one last go? Put the ball into the box. Maguire's up there. You get the feeling being told this will be the last play. Walker spins it his right hand. Delivers towards John Stones. Stones wins it. Comes to Phillips on the edge of the box. Nods it back to Walker. Needs to put it into the box. Phillips turns. That's exactly what he does. Decent ball in. Flicked on by Maguire. Well played by Daniel Vass. Let the ball run across his body. Still no whistle. Jack Grealish now. Left-hand side of the box. Back to Mason Mount. Digs out across. It's away. No, it's not. It's back to Grealish. Grealish level the situation. Finds Harry Kane. Blocked by Simon Kjær. Excellent all evening. The whistle goes. England won. Denmark won. We're heading to extra time. Join us shortly for another 30 minutes of action.
At the end of the 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. Extra time will be needed to separate these two sides to decide who will be facing Italy in the European Championship final. Both goals coming during the first half. Mikael Damsgaard's free kick putting Denmark in front on 30 minutes. And a Simon Kjær own goal. He turned a Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Chances for both teams during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty during the second period as well when he went down under a challenge by Christian Norgard, but a free kick to Denmark was given rather than the expected England penalty. England finished the second half the stronger of the two teams, but it's anyone's guess who is going to go on and reach the final. Join us for coverage shortly. At the end of the 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. Extra time will be needed to separate these two sides to decide who will be facing Italy in the European Championship final. Both goals coming during the first half. Mikael Damsgaard's free kick putting Denmark in front on 30 minutes. And a Simon Kjær own goal. He turned a Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Chances for both teams during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty during the second period as well when he went down under a challenge by Christian Norgard, but a free kick to Denmark was given rather than the expected England penalty. England finished the second half the stronger of the two teams, but it's anyone's guess who is going to go on and reach the final. Join us at the end of the 90 minutes. It's England 1, Denmark 1. Extra time will be needed to separate these two sides to decide who will be... At the end of 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. The match is going to extra time to decide who will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday. Both goals came during the first half. Mikkel Damsgaard's superb free kick, but Denmark in front on 30 minutes. An own goal from Simon Kjær, the Denmark skipper who turned Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Both sides had chances during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty for England when he went down under a challenge from Christian Norgard in the area, but to the surprise of everyone, the referee gave a free kick to Denmark rather than an England penalty. Second half extra time coverage is coming up shortly. At the end of 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. The match is going to extra time to decide who will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday. Both goals came during the first half. Mikkel Damsgaard's superb free kick, but Denmark in front on 30 minutes. An own goal from Simon Kjær, the Denmark skipper who turned Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Both sides had chances during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty for England when he went down under a challenge from Christian Norgard in the area, but to the surprise of everyone, the referee gave a free kick to Denmark rather than an England penalty. Second half extra time coverage is coming up shortly. At the end of 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. The match is going to extra time to decide who will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday. Both goals came during the first half. Mikkel Damsgaard's superb free kick, but Denmark in front on 30 minutes. An own goal from Simon Kjær, the Denmark skipper who turned Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Both sides had chances during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty for England when he went down under a challenge from Christian Norgard in the area, but to the surprise of everyone, the referee gave a free kick to Denmark rather than an England penalty. Second half extra time coverage is coming up shortly. At the end of 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. The match is going to extra time to decide who will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday. Both goals came during the first half. Mikkel Damsgaard's superb free kick, but Denmark in front on 30 minutes. An own goal from Simon Kjær, the Denmark skipper who turned Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Both sides had chances during the second half. Harry Kane felt he should have had a penalty for England when he went down under a challenge from Christian Norgard in the area, but to the surprise of everyone, the referee gave a free kick to Denmark rather than an England penalty. Second half extra time coverage is coming up shortly. At the end of 90 minutes, it's England 1, Denmark 1. The match is going to extra time to decide who will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final on Sunday. Both goals came during the first half. Mikkel Damsgaard's superb free kick, but Denmark in front on 30 minutes. An own goal from Simon Kjær, the Denmark skipper who turned Bukayo Saka's cross into his own net, made it 1-1 on 39. Both sides had chances during the second. Right, we'll just draw that one to a quick conclusion because extra time is getting underway in the Euro 2020 semi-final between England and Denmark. Nothing to separate these two nations after 90 minutes at Wembley, one apiece. The scoreline, Mikkel Damsgaard putting Denmark in front on the half-hour mark. A Simon Kjær own goal drawing England level just 9 minutes later. It's myself, Tom McGarry, and Jack Ogilvie who will be talking you through this game until a conclusion, whether that comes at the end of extra time or following penalties. England did end the second, or the latter part of the second half, on top with the side, certainly in the ascendancy. But Jack, do you think, we mentioned towards the end of that second half as well, if Denmark could get to extra time, then they might get a boost themselves? So we're just having a slight delay at the start of this opening period of extra time, whilst the referee, Danny McKaylee, goes and has a word with the fourth official, who's now having a word with a suited man behind the technical area. I'm not 100% sure what this delay is about, in all truth.
Well, I wonder if is there too many substitutes affecting the gesture Danny McKennie made with his two fingers up and as if they were crossing, almost like his vision was making his life difficult when he's looking across the pitch because there's maybe too many subs. I'm not quite sure, I have to say. Quite possibly, because the Denmark players, yes, they're wearing bibs and tracksuit tops, but they have still got the red shorts and socks on show, which at a glance could potentially distract the referee and the players actually out there as well. Denmark have a throw. They're going from left to right in this first period of extra time. Ball lost, though, by Christian Norgard. Calvin Phillips has it for England. A little bit loose with his pass in the middle, but Declan Rice will pick it up inside the centre circle, finds Kyle Walker. Back in towards John Stones, and now Harry Maguire being pressed by Brathwaite. Plays it forward towards
Calvin Phillips. Luke Shaw now down the left-hand channel. His attempted ball was cut out by Vass. England, who only made one change during the regulation 90. Denmark made all 5 of theirs, although they do now have an extra 6th one during extra time. But England, who brought on Jack Grealish for Bukayo Saka, it now looks like Jordan Henderson and Phil Foden are both going to enter the fray.
Yeah, looks so, doesn't it? I imagine Phil Foden for Raheem Sterling maybe, and well, Henderson will definitely come on for either Rice or Phillips. Rice looks a bit tired, I have to say. Phillips maybe playing with a bit more control, but Rice also gives you that, I suppose, that drive in midfield, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the more defensive of the two, although they are both defensively minded, as can be Henderson. But I like you, I think he has just looked a little bit laboured over the last 10 minutes or so as Jack Grealish draws a foul in the centre circle, and I think he wants Yusuf Poulsen to pick up a yellow card. Højbjerg was involved as well.
Well, it's Højbjerg with the initial foul. I don't think Poulsen maybe is a foul. He's got to be close to accumulation for it. He's had 4 or 5 since he came on, hasn't he, as Poulsen. But Grealish, very dangerous, but a note really, isn't it, that the Danes, as soon as he gets the ball, straight away they're onto him.
Yeah, he's the player who picks up the most fouls in the Premier League season in, season out. That's a lovely ball around the corner by Walker to Kane, who gets a shot away, saved by Schmeichel. Grealish was coming in, but it's cleared away by Joachim Andersen. Really important defending from the Denmark substitute. England not done yet, though. Luke Shaw down the left-hand side, supported by Jack Grealish. Mason Mount there as well. Grealish works the ball into Declan Rice. Rice, 40 yards from goal, wants an option on the right-hand side, gets it from Walker. Now down the channel to Raheem Sterling, who may be about to come off, but he's dropped his shoulder into the penalty area. Sterling finds his route to goal, blocked by Vestergaard, who's gone down, might have been caught by Sterling with the follow-through. Kasper Hjulmand certainly appealing for a free kick. The Denmark number 3 is still down on the floor, holding his face. I think we are going to get a stoppage, so he'll be able to receive treatment, and we might get that double England change.
Yeah, it's this clash of heads, isn't it? Raheem Sterling and Vestergaard. Actually, Sterling's arms up in the air. There's not a lot he can do about it. His momentum is, like I said, there's not a lot he can do about it. But if Denmark go through, Kasper Schmeichel's right glove, I think, would be the man of the match. He's made 4 or 5 fabulous saves. See that one again. Kane does everything right. Brilliant footwork by Schmeichel. He shifts himself down so well and so swiftly. And it was just agonising, wasn't it? Everyone was waiting for the ball to fall to anybody. And it was Joachim Andersen who responded the quicker of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane cannot do any more with that shot from the angle under pressure. You know, if he could pick it up himself and place it where he wanted to or aim it where he wanted to, it would have been low towards that corner. But Schmeichel, with a big right hand, made the save. You've called it, Jack. Declan Rice is the first player to be replaced. Jordan Henderson, who scored his first international goal against the Ukraine in the quarter-final, has come on. Will add certainly some extra experience in the middle for England. And Phil Foden is also on, but it's Mason Mount who is being replaced. So you'd imagine either Foden or Grealish will take up the central position behind Harry Kane, or it might be the two interchanging.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things work out. Vestergaard's back on his feet, seems to be moving okay as well, just rubbing his nose. I think he'll be okay. Now Southgate still looks pretty calm on the sidelines. There's a heated discussion between Harry Kane and Simon Kjaer. It looks like Grealish from the left at the moment, Foden number 10.
Yeah, interesting to see how that plays out. But Phil Foden, who hasn't featured in the knockout stages as of yet, he's on now and could be set to play an integral role as the ball launched forward there by Jordan Pickford for England. Just on the two managers, Gareth Southgate and Kasper Hjulmand, the two of the coolest characters really around. They've got that really calming influence, it would seem, on their teams, which is really shown through during very important occasions for both sides throughout this tournament. As Grealish down the left-hand side, Shaw makes an overlapping run. Grealish uses the left-back, who rides the challenge really well there of Joachim Andersen. Vass does a decent job of then slowing Shaw up. He can't get an initial cross into the box. Instead, he interchanges passes with Phil Foden. Grealish involved as well, down that left-hand side. Grealish has 3 Danish players around him. Foden now goes back towards Calvin Phillips. Again, Denmark doing a really good job of forcing England backwards and away from the edge of their own penalty area. Sterling now down the right-hand side finds Kyle Walker, who returns it to his fellow Manchester City man. Sterling now into Phil Foden, another of the City contingent, who returns it to Sterling. He goes down on the edge of the area, no foul. The baton is picked up though, and the ball's floated towards the far post there by Jordan Henderson. It will come to Luke Shaw, who tries to lift it back into the area. Højbjerg, with his hands behind his back to make sure there can't be a possibility of handball, diverts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, Vestergaard and Sterling. It's a free kick, I think, there. Vestergaard's got no intent. Vestergaard has given up now, hasn't he? He knows he doesn't have the legs to deal with Sterling. He just body checks him, I thought, there. But in the end, I think corner's as good as England could have hoped for.
Yeah, it's still a decent position. Maguire stones forward from the back. Again, in tandem now of Harry Kane and Jordan Henderson towards the edge of the penalty area. Foden's assumed corner duties, whips a deep one towards the far post. It's headed towards goal by John Stones. Diverted half clear, comes back to Foden. Grealish on the edge of the area, strikes towards goal. That ball was moving and Schmeichel takes no chances, bats it away, but England will come again. Grealish once more into the penalty area, taking on Daniel Vass, pulls it back to Sterling, who steps away from the challenger Jensen. It opened up for Sterling, but he lacked the composure with the finish.
Yeah, not quite had the chances, barring that great save from Schmeichel in the first half. Again, it was just too tight for Sterling. A decent effort by Grealish, and I think Schmeichel was taken aback by just the movement and the pace of the ball. Did well to punch it away. Denmark very, very deep. You feel England, it sounds stupid to say, obviously they need a goal, but you think that the way the game is so stretched, Denmark will get a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got that pace on the counter-attack as well, particularly with Braithwaite. There's always going to be an opportunity in this for both sides, at least one, as a free kick has been given on the right-hand side for England. Kyle Walker going down under the challenge of Christian Norgard. Walker himself takes the free kick quickly, gets it back off Raheem Sterling. Infield it goes to Jordan Henderson, who had to wait until his 62nd cap to score his first international goal. He'll be hoping, England will be hoping they're like buses and they come along 2 in a row. But for the time being, Grealish coming inside for England from the left-hand flank, flicks it back into the man I was just mentioning, Jordan Henderson. Now Kyle Walker out to Sterling on the right-hand side. He looks like he might have found a new lease of life, certainly a bit more energy in this extra time period. Looking to get hold of it once again, the man who's got 3 goals for England at this tournament so far. John Stones now across to Harry Maguire, and the pattern of extra time is set. England dominating the possession as they were towards the end of the regulation 90 minutes, with Denmark happy to sit in and play on the counter-attack, which they might get an opportunity of now as Foden has given the ball away. Schmeichel sends it long towards Poulsen, who flicks it on, but Braithwaite was to his left. He went right, and England will settle for the throw on the halfway line. Yeah,
taking quickly to Walker, but I think the pattern is set now, isn't it? Denmark, there's always one team who wants penalties more than the other, and Denmark seem pretty happy with their lot at the moment. England doing all the pressing, and it's a case of breaking down this red wall.
Yeah, England, we know their notoriety with penalty shootouts, but they did beat Colombia at the last World Cup in the round of 16, a stage of that tournament that Denmark exited the competition on penalties at the hands of Croatia. It's Phil Foden for England down the right-hand side, supported by Jordan Henderson. Fresh legs, gets to the byline. Cross is cut out at the front post by Vestergaard, and behind for another England corner.
Yeah, 2 new men working well together there. Not much more Henderson could have done, I don't think. It was just away from him, had to dig it out. Well played by Vestergaard, but England, like we say, the momentum's with them at the moment.
Yeah, and the supporters at Wembley are getting right behind the England team. The vast majority of the 60,000 supporting Gareth Southgate's side as Foden whips it into the near post, headed away by Daniel Vass. Convincing header clear as well from one of the Danish substitutes. Walker has it on the halfway line. Finds Grealish, who's one of the deepest England players at the moment. Plays it off to Phillips before jogging into a more attack-minded position. Shaw now tentatively brings the ball forward. Sterling popping up on the left-hand side. Maguire and Phillips now exchanging passes. Again, Denmark very deep and very compact, making it difficult for England to play their way through, particularly with the tiring bodies out there. Henderson exchanging passes with Foden. Again, those two probably going to be crucial in this extra time period with the fresh legs they possess. Phillips rolls the ball back into John Stones, who keeps the ball moving out to the right-hand flank. Henderson drops a shoulder, cuts in field, takes a little bit of a risk, but he does come away with the ball. Eventually lays it off to Harry Maguire. All the play really happening just 10 yards or so inside the Danish half at the moment. Raheem Sterling will look to change that as he looks to take on Mailer down the England right, and he just about gets the better of Mailer. He goes down in the area, then under a challenge. England again claim for a penalty. England have a penalty. Daniel McKaylee points to the spot. Denmark surround the official. Sterling brought down in the area. VAR will undoubtedly have a look, but as it stands, England have a golden opportunity to get in front.
I might be about to make a very trivial point here, Tom. I think there was a second ball on the pitch. In the top corner by the corner flag, there was something silver and spherical, and I don't know where it came from. It wasn't moving, suggests you had some weight. Again, that might be a very trivial point. I think Mailer's seen it again. He ain't playing the ball, he's playing Sterling. It's got to be a penalty, I think.
I think it's the legs rather than the foot of Mailer that come together. He does try and pull out of it at the last moment. And again, you could argue Sterling has gone down easily, but I don't think this will be a decision that's overturned unless that second ball does come into play, of course, Jack. But at the moment, England have a penalty. 12, nearly 13 minutes gone in extra time. Harry Kane surely will be the man to take the spot kick. He'll be up against Kasper Schmeichel. Still, there's a delay. This is a huge decision. No surprise that VAR are taking their time before making the call. Harry Kane has the ball in his hand. Still, Denmark appeal to the official. He can't really do anything about it at this stage. He's just got to take the advice of the VAR team, who may ask him to come across and watch the pitch side monitor. But it looks like the decision is going to stand. Kane is placing the ball on the spot. The Danish players have moved away now from the referee. The check is over. It is. I can confirm this is a penalty to England. So it's Harry Kane up against Kasper Schmeichel. Can he put England in front? 90 seconds away from half-time in extra time. England 1, Denmark 1. Kane against Schmeichel. Wembley watches on with bated breath. Can England's ever-reliable man, Harry Kane, put them in front? He sends it low. It's saved by Schmeichel. Kane scores the rebound, and England potentially have 1 foot in the European Championship final.
Not a convincing penalty at all. Good save by Schmeichel down to his left-hand side, but no luck for the Leicester goalkeeper. It bounces out to Kane, who scrambles it home. Wembley goes crazy. England 2-1 up in extra time.
Closing in on the end of the first period of extra time, and England now lead Denmark by 2-1. They're in front for the first time on the night. Harry Kane, the scorer. It was a penalty that was given to England. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mailer in the area. The referee pointed to the spot. There was a lengthy delay whilst VAR confirmed the decision. The penalty was given. Kane stepped up, sent it to Schmeichel's left. Schmeichel saved, but unfortunately for the Danish goalkeeper, it came straight back to Kane, who made no mistake with his second chance, his second opportunity, his 4th goal of the tournament, and potentially he could be sending England on their way to the Euro 2020 final.
Yeah, well followed up, wasn't it, by Kane? He knew the way he struck it. So unfortunate for Schmeichel, who's been so good during this game. Diving to his left-hand side, Kieran Trippier couldn't look. The Atletico Madrid man sent out to warm up. The relief on Harry Kane's face. It was one of those. When he was standing up for that, Tom, I thought, Harry Kane never misses, but Kasper Schmeichel very rarely concedes. And Schmeichel won the duel, but Kane got the rebound, grabbed the goal. And now it's all on Denmark. I think they may have sent Vestergaard right up front now for the final, the closing second though. Jonas Wins come on for Vestergaard. And, a totally different look to this game now. Yeah,
Vinder, a striker coming on. He did start the first match, I think, against Finland, but hasn't really featured since. So he's on the field of play now. He'll have about 15 minutes to have an influence on the game. We've almost had a minute of stoppage time at the end of this first period of extra time. There was the delay with the penalty being awarded, so Denmark might get one last attack during this period. Højbjerg, his ball's been picked off on the left-hand side. That's really good play by Kyle Walker, who's breaking forward with pace. He's got Kane, Foden and Grealish in support. Harry Kane has it, tracked by Norgard. Fouled by Norgard, was he? Yes, says the referee. And there may just be time for England to muster another opportunity from this free kick.
Yeah, it's game management has been the phrase of this tournament from us commentators, hasn't it? And that's exactly what Harry Kane did there. I thought Norgard made the good tackle, but Kane went down. He took the sting out of the game, I suppose. Kieran Trippier will be coming on. The man described as a defensive animal by Gareth Southgate after the Croatia game, so not a bad man to bring on.
Yeah, I wonder, Raheem Sterling and a switch to a back three from England maybe for the second period of extra time. The mood in Wembley, the England supporters are jubilant. Denmark looking rather sombre as England work the free kick short. It's with Phil Foden. We're having 3 minutes of stoppage time actually at the end of this first period of extra time. We've played 2 of those. Luke Shaw now for England, breaking towards the edge of the Danish penalty area before shifting it out to the left-hand side for Jack Grealish, who again looking to commit defenders. Well, even looking to hold it in the corner flag. He's eventually stopped by Daniel Vass, who hooks half clear. Maguire fails to control, but it'll ricochet. Well, it looked like it might have ricocheted towards Foden. It's picked off by the substitute Wind. And now Norgard can turn for Denmark. 30 seconds of stoppage time remaining at the end of this first period of extra time. Denmark are going to have to throw the kitchen sink at England in these minutes that remain. Simon Kjær been a pivotal man for Denmark at these finals in more than just what he's done on the football pitch. He's going to look to switch the play out towards the left-hand flank. It should be cut out by the head of John Stones and is. There'll be a throw-in for Denmark. Just about enough time for Mæhle to take it. Flick down the line and Jensen helps it on to Joachim Mæhle. The ball, has it stayed in? No, the referee has pulled it back. He indicates throw-in. Still, this first period of extra time goes on. Oh, wait, now maybe the referee has looked at his whistle. We're looking back at the penalty decision again. It was the knee, the right knee of Mæhle just caught this side of Raheem Sterling's leg. Minimal contact, Jack, but enough for a penalty, I suppose.
Yeah, the slow motion cameras don't do him any favours, do they? Mæhle, it's not a great penalty by Harry Kane, but as soon as that ball bounces out, he knows exactly what he's doing. You look at him, he's got his head down because he knows he has to hit it low and into the opposite corner. A relief for Harry Kane, and England in the ascendancy.
At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1. At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1. At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1. At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1. At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1. At the end of the first period of extra time, England lead Denmark by 2-1. Harry Kane putting England in front for the first time this evening. It was a penalty. Raheem Sterling brought down by Joachim Mæhle in the box. Kane actually missed the spot kick. Good save down to his left-hand side by Kasper Schmeichel. But the Tottenham forward, the England captain, was on hand to turn home the rebound from close range. England 15 minutes away from a European Championship final for the first time in their history. It's England 2, Denmark 1.
We're back for the second half of extra time. We have more. England leading at 2-1. Penalty will follow up from Harry Kane, fourth goal of the Euros for the England captain. News of a change as well. An eyebrow raising one or two. Jack Grealish has been taken off, a sub himself, of course, and replaced by Kieran Trippier. Grealish looked good as far as keeping hold of the ball. He thought that might be an attribute that Gareth Southgate would look to in this second half of extra time. But it looks like a back three. Trippier down the right-hand side, as they were against Germany. But after not getting on against Ukraine, I thought he did quite well, actually, Jack Grealish, when he did come on. It's a bit of a dent to the confidence, you imagine?
Yeah, and I'm sure Gareth Southgate, if he hasn't had a word yet, he will do at the end of the game. He wants to hold on to what he's got. As we were saying, Raheem Sterling would be the man to come off because he's played the entirety of the game. But I suppose, in fairness to Sterling, he won the penalty. His pace on the counter-attack could cause Denmark problems as they inevitably have to throw bodies forward. That would have been the obvious decision to take Sterling off. But Gareth Southgate isn't afraid to make the big calls. He's done that throughout this tournament, and he feels that's the right way to go. He's got the extra defensive player on, and we know Trippier does provide good defensive cover.
Yes, free kick against a Danish player here. Danny Macaulay, the referee, wants to have a word with somebody too. Potentially Kyle Walker, who hammered the ball away. Kasper Hjulmand's just asking if a bit of extra time is going to be added on for that infringement to the Dutch linesman. Hjulmand still looks pretty calm, I have to say. As England move it back to John Stones. Almost in that sweeper position. Jordan Pickford, deep intake of breath there from me. First touch was not a great one. Hammers it clear, but it'd be throwing deep in England's half to Denmark. I suppose what England need to avoid doing now is falling into the trap that Denmark did in getting so far deep that you're just inviting the pressure.
Yeah, it's amazing what a difference a goal makes. England will inevitably drop back. Denmark will control the play, which they haven't really done since the early period of the second half. But it's going to be all Denmark. You know, we say we need England not to sit so deep, but they inevitably, you imagine they will, and it'll be a bit of a defence against attack for these final 12 and a half minutes or so.
Anderson's forward ball eludes Brathwaite out for a goal kick. Nervous looking Danish fans. It was roles reversed, wasn't it? Denmark going ahead through a super free kick from young Mikkel Damsgaard. Own goal Simon Kjær was the equaliser before the break. Then Harry Kane converting after missing a penalty in the first half of extra time. You do feel, though, the way this game has gone and the way last night's game went between Spain and Italy, that there are plenty of twists and turns to come.
Absolutely, there'll be at least one big chance for Denmark. I was just looking, they've made all 6 substitutes now, haven't they, with Jonas Vind coming on. I'm surprised it maybe wasn't Andreas Cornelius coming on to be the Route 1 option, if you like, the big man in the box, when inevitably, if it remains 2-1, they're going to have to throw it into that kind of area. But maybe that's when they send a Simon Kjær or someone like that up front for the final few minutes.
Yeah, he featured heavily in the early stage of the tournament as well, Cornelius, didn't he, off the bench, as Højbjerg, his socks around his ankles now, finds pulse. A nice turn by the Leipzig man. Back to Norgard. He just takes too much time. Sterling gets to tackle him, but Norgard will pick up the seconds. Looks fully fit now after having his championship campaign hindered by those injuries with Brentford, preparing for a Premier League season as well. Jensen alongside him in the middle of the park for Denmark now. Another Bees player as Højbjerg just gets in there ahead of Kane, and it will be a throw to Denmark.
Højbjerg's been absolutely superb as well in the middle of the park for Denmark. We mentioned Schmeichel probably doesn't deserve to be on the losing team. I don't think he does either. In fairness, there has to be a loser, doesn't there? And it's a bit of a cliche to say, but Denmark have put so much into this game. Both sides have been fantastic. It's been a really entertaining semi-final. A lot of the time, these kind of games are very tight and tense and pretty forgettable in a lot of ways. But this has been anything but that.
Højbjerg has done everything that Højbjerg does well tonight, hasn't he? He's kept it simple, he's made his tackles. Every blade of grass has been his. Yeah, very impressive by the Spurs man, as Trippier just has to backtrack and down the line on the feet of Mæhle. Andersen plays it forward to Poulsen. He's been bright since coming on. Thought about the shot there, didn't he, from a tight angle. Floated it towards Vass instead. Shaw half away. Højbjerg almost plays a right back now, I think. Højbjerg drops his shoulder down the right-hand side. Vass just tries to help him on. Foden's back there, nodded back by Henderson, and Shaw will hook it away, only for a throw, though, to Denmark on the right-hand side as they attack. Level with the 18-yard line. Vass to take it. He's got a long delivery. Will he wind up? I think he will, because Kjær's in there. No, he goes back to Andersen, who maybe thought he was going to be going forward. Floats it towards the back post. Poulsen's there. Trippier needs to be careful. Poulsen heads it up in the air, and Walker will slam it clear. Only out for a throw, though. England getting very, very deep. Second ball on the pitch. We've suggested that before, haven't we? This time it's stopped as Mæhle will take the throw. 9 minutes of the second batch of additional 15 on. The clock still to come. England leading Denmark 2-1, but Denmark the team on top as things stand. Shaw slides in, makes an excellent challenge, but Kjær on the halfway line, he'll control. Højbjerg now. White boots, socks round the ankles. Into Vind, couldn't find his touch. I thought he was going to slide it through to a teammate there, Tom.
Yeah, it's probing from Denmark, isn't it? They just haven't quite been able to get into a really decent crossing position as of yet. They're biding their time. They're going to get chances, as we keep mentioning. It's one-way traffic now since the second period of extra time resumed. It's quite a dangerous game for England to play, but you can't criticise England either, because every single team in the world would do this in their position. Yeah,
Højbjerg inside ball is just caught out by a stretching Harry Maguire, who's going across field, works it down the line. Kane can't control. It's all Denmark at the moment. Højbjerg again. Henderson finds Sterling. Sterling will let the ball run under his feet, then gets going. Mæhle's trying to stick with him, but he can't. Great pace. Sterling still going. Central position. Finds Kane inside the box. One shot on his left foot. Goes to the line. Tries to cut it back. No, actually turns. Good play by Kane. Holding things up under pressure from Simon Kjær, who again, position excellent from the AC Milan defender. The Danish captain, of course. Now back in midfield. Kyle Walker and Calvin Phillips. What a vote of confidence it is for Calvin Phillips as well, still to be on the field. He's really come on during these championships, hasn't he? Trippier, down the line is Walker. Sterling's unmarked in the box. Rather than go direct, he heads to the corner though, Walker. Back to Trippier. Trippier will fizz it towards Phillips. Maguire. Now Shaw. Kane. On the angle of the box, reverse ball to Shaw. Foden's in there, as is Sterling. Shaw just rolls it across. He'll get a second bite of the cherry as well. Rolls it back to Henderson, who rightly, I think, Nadia McHaley waves away the protest. He waited for it and went down. Never a penalty kick, that one.
Yeah, he gets to the ball first. It's just a natural coming together, though, isn't it, between Henderson and it might be Norgard, the player he was challenging with. It was a hopeful look from Jordan Henderson, but England have already had one penalty given it in this first period of extra time, which probably was a penalty, but on the soft side, you would probably say. So I don't think there was any way the official was going to point to the spot there.
No, I'm just having. Has Jensen gone off as well for the Danes? I'm not spotting him in this the second half.
Unless he's gone off injured.
Injured,
yeah, because Denmark used all their 6 substitutes. Let's see if we can get clarification on that.
No, I can't see him at the moment. As Brathwaite turns, goes for goal. Scrambling was Pickford. Did he get a touch round the corner? Yes, corner kick. This is what Denmark want. They've got a big, big team. Need some good delivery here.
Yeah, it's a really good turn from Brathwaite, isn't it? Not the cleanest of shots. Takes a deflection, I think, off John Stones, but a really good piece of goalkeeping from Jordan Pickford. He had one of those early in the second half against Dolberg. Again, down to his right-hand side, takes no chances.
Yes, Kjær's up. Anderson's up. Vin's a big man too. Poulsen, all these players are 6 foot plus. Vass, again, Denmark crowd round Jordan Pickford. 5.5 left. Oh, the second period of stopping extra time. Ball in, it's headed away. Harry Kane back there. Norgard, Mæhle rather. He'll go across field to Højbjerg, who takes a safety first and sensible option. Nods it back to Kasper Schmeichel, the only man in the Denmark half. Schmeichel now floats it forward. Maguire's up there, heads it away ahead of Brathwaite. Maguire has to be careful, of course, on that yellow card. Mæhle, central position. Finds Norgard. He's got Kjær square. And Anderson. Kjær drops the shoulder and shows a nice bit of pace actually to go away from Raheem Sterling. Mæhle. Poulsen's just drawing wide. Brathwaite tries to flick it between his legs. Phillips gets in there, makes a tackle. Foden sets Kane away. Is he offside? It doesn't matter. Great play by Kasper Schmeichel and blocked, I think, by Harry Kane. Is that going to be a free kick? Yes, I think he was offside anyway, Tom.
Yeah, I think he possibly might have been. Schmeichel doing some good sweeper keepering regardless, and a definite handball from Kane. I've just done a quick totting up. There's no confirmation anywhere, but yeah, it looks like Denmark do only have 9 outfield players there, and you spotted it. It looks like it's Jensen, the substitute, who's had to go off, so must have picked up an unspecified injury, but it looks like Denmark are playing with 10. Yeah,
ball into the box. Maguire heads it away to safety. Corner kick, though. He only came on 88 minutes on the clock, didn't he? Jensen. Again, though, Denmark will look to put pressure on Pickford. Vass again the man to take it. This looks like a more orthodox approach from the Scandinavians from this corner kick. Kjær and Anderson on the penalty spot. Brathwaite, Vint, Poulsen in there too. And there's Norgard. Vass floats it towards the back post. Anderson goes up. It's Walker with the header away. Sterling makes up good ground to get away from Norgard, and now he can go forward. Being trapped by Mæhle, Sterling tried to go inside rather than hit the line. Allowed Denmark to get back into the play. Mæhle skips past Trippier and Sterling. Then Walker steps in. Excellent night this so far for Walker. Very, very good. Either right back or as a right-sided centre-half. Then cuts it back to Harry Kane. Jordan Henderson's acres of space in the middle of the park. And he finds Kieran Trippier, who has one thing on his mind. That's head to the corner flag. Just over 3 minutes left of this second Euro 2020 semi-final. A reminder, you can catch the final on this service Sunday evening, 8 o'clock. Phillips strokes it back to Walker. Stones right on the halfway line. We'll find Maguire and England just moving it along their defensive line. Shaw, Phillips forward ball. Anderson plays Kane onside. Kane getting down to walking pace. These players are exhausted. Shaw, Phillips again. Told to go across field, but goes back to Maguire. Right call. Maguire plays it towards Trippier. Trippier, cool as you like. Good man to bring on as he's Trippier in a situation like this. Little triangle between himself, Walker and Henderson. Then comes forward down the line. Sterling inside ball. Henderson finds Sterling. He goes towards the box. Foden unmarked on the penalty spot. Sterling can't quite get it out of his feet. Henderson will now take over and head towards the corner flag. No, Trippier, Foden. Norgard rather tried to take the ball off him. Couldn't quite get it. 2 minutes left of the additional 30. Stones, tired touch. That sums up the game because Denmark can't quite get there at the moment.
Yeah, they're out on their feet, Denmark. They've been chasing shadows for the last couple of minutes. Really difficult with a man light in this second period of extra time. They made a good start to the second period, but as soon as England got a period of possession like they've got now, it's just so difficult for them to win the ball back. And credit to England, they're really running down the clock well.
Yeah, you can see he's got cramp. If the ball goes out, he'll need someone to stretch out his right leg, I think. As Trippier and Sterling, I don't think got much intention of letting that ball go out. As Henderson finds Foden. Foden turns and works it back to Henderson and just fizzes it back to Sterling. Almost in a right wing-back position, Sterling. Phillips, cool as you like, the outside of his right boot. Works it to Stones. Then Phillips all the way back to Jordan Pickford. He'll get it out of his left foot and just drift it towards Luke Shaw. Kane now, just inside Denmark's half. In no rush to make it towards goal, though. The England skipper asking for support. Vass is there to try and take the ball off him. Back to Luke Shaw. Phillips. Ooh, that was a rare heavy touch by Phillips. He's passed back towards Shaw, out for a throw. What can Denmark make of this? Just inside their own half. They need to go long, Tom.
They do, yeah. I mean, England have wasted 3 or 4 minutes there with possession, but Denmark have a chance. 30 seconds. We might get a minute added on for stoppages at the end. I don't think we'll get more than that. So it's now or never territory for Denmark. England, a matter of seconds away from the European Championship final.
Yeah. Floats it forward, looking towards Poulsen. Poulsen wins it. Maguire with the header. Stones has gone down, but he gets back up. Phillips, left-footed ball forward to Kane's a good one. Kane turns. He's got bodies with him. 5 on 4 in England's favour. Sterling, he's got Walker with him. Sterling goes for goal. Still going Sterling. Saved by Kasper Schmeichel. 30 minutes has gone. We'll look for stoppage time. Either way, it's going to be England's ball here.
It is, right. Sterling possibly should have gave it to Trippier on the overlap, but did do well. Got beyond the tired challenge from Anderson, even though he's not been on the pitch that long. And yeah, the angle was tight in the end. Good save from Schmeichel once again. But England will look to run down the clock, almost certainly keep the ball in the corner area from this set piece, and they should be just about over the line.
Yes, I imagine they will keep it in the corner like you say, Tom. Still to see how long has been added on. We got 1 minute is. That was a foul by Poulsen, surely, on Foden. No, play on as Mæhle. Denmark need to go long. Mæhle can't get it out of his feet. Fouled, I think he was, by Trippier, but play on. Anderson going forward. It's Brathwaite now. Tries to run past Shaw. Shaw gets his body in the way. And, advantage being played. I thought he'd given a foul against Shaw then as Maguire feeds it to Foden. Foden into the feet of Harry Maguire. All eyes on time. England have scraped through. Harry Kane, following up from a penalty saved by Kasper Schmeichel, has made the difference. England will play Italy in Sunday's final at Euro 2020. After extra time, it's finished England 2, Denmark 1.